Visual rhetoric, a mode of communication that uses images, often in conjunction with text, to express ideas and convey arguments. How does visual rhetoric function within video game cover art? Through an array of literary avenues and rhetorical figures including anchorage, antithesis, irony, the linguistic message, personification, relay, resemblance, and the symbolic message, also known as the connoted image. The linguistic message is any text within the image. Almost all images in all contexts are accompanied by some sort of linguistic message. Here are two examples on which I will be focusing during this presentation: Alice, Madness Returns, and Injustice, Gods Among Us. Above the title of Injustice, there is also the text that states, "From the creators of Mortal Kombat." The linguistic message has two major functions, one being the anchorage and two being the relay. Anchorage is one of the two functions of the linguistic message. It is the text that sets the overall tone of the entire image. Images are polysemous. They imply, underlying their signifiers, a floating chain of signifieds, the viewer able to choose some and ignore others. Anchorage helps direct the viewer towards the intended meaning. The title, Injustice, Gods Among Us, is the main linguistic message. However, Injustice gives us the anchorage of the image. With its dominating font, it sets the tone of justice gone awry. It projects the theme of injustice throughout the image and directs the viewer's attention towards related connotations. The anchorage is at work in two separate scenes. First, within the alignment of the five characters, there is one villain, the Joker, at the focal point surrounded by four superheroes. The Joker is displaying a maniacal grin while the other characters are depicting looks of concern. This projects the idea that evil has risen to power. Secondly, the battle between Batman and Superman, both of whom are known good guys. It is certainly out of the norm to have two heroes fighting one another. By placing injustice as the anchorage, it reiterates the theme as one scans throughout the image. Here, the totality of the linguistic message is the anchorage. Alice, Madness Returns. It collectively drives the entire image that the girl is either ready to wreak havoc or she will not stop at anything in order to prevent it. Relay is another of the two functions of the linguistic message. Here, text and image stand together in a complementary relationship. The words, in the same as the image, are fragments of a more general sentiment, and the unity of the message is related at a higher level. The linguistic message from the creators of Mortal Kombat works with the elements of the image to relay the information that this is probably a fighting game, displaying numerous characters from separate comic worlds, along with Batman and Superman in mid-battle, ties in with the connotations one would have of Mortal Kombat, a classic fighting game. The text and the images are working concurrently with one another. Back to Alice, Madness Returns, I've already said that collectively the text is the anchorage. Now separately, they can function as two relays. The word Alice is the more dominant linguistic message according to font size. Its font also breaks the repetition of the other words, thus drawing further emphasis upon itself. It works in correlation with the largest piece of the image, Alice herself. This relays the information that this character is created in resemblance of Disney's version of Alice from Lewis Carroll's Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Madness Returns works in correlation with several other elements within the scene, including the blood-soaked dress and the blood-soaked knife. It also connotes that this is probably a sequel to an earlier title. Antithesis is a rhetorical figure of contrast. It is the juxtaposition of contrasting ideas. Within Injustice, Gods Among Us, the placement of the five faces is a prime example of antithesis. One villain surrounded by four superheroes. Not only is he surrounded, but their contrasting facial expressions tell the story. The villain, the Joker, displays a grin while the heroes emit severe concern. Resemblance refers to images that are created in an effort to resemble what they represent. Here, Alice from Alice Madness Returns is donning a blue dress with a white apron, just like Alice from the Disney films. The Cheshire Cat from Alice Madness Returns has the same glowing eyes and the same wide, teeth-filled grin as the Cheshire Cat from the Disney films. Irony is a rhetorical figure of contrast. It is an expression that conveys a meaning opposite to its literal meaning. Back to Disney's Alice. She is an innocent-looking child with a coy grin on her face. She even holds her hands together as if she is scared or embarrassed. On the other hand, Alice from Alice Madness Returns has jet black hair, angled eyes of wrath, not to mention she's wearing a blood-drenched dress and wielding a bloody knife, an extreme dichotomy of one little girl. Personification is a rhetorical figure of resemblance. It is a comparison whereby human qualities are signed to inanimate objects. Here, the Cheshire Cat from Alice Madness Returns is displaying a huge grin that is unlike anything a cat would be able to do. The cat has been given the humanesque quality of a teeth-filled smile. The symbolic message, also known as the connoted image, draws upon connotations that one may have with a particular image. However, analyzing the connotations of an image can be difficult because different people will experience different connotations. Meaning is constructed not only by the creator, but also by the audience and the intersection of all lexicons. These two images are flush with symbolism. First, in Alice Madness Returns, the Cheshire Cat's glowing yellow eyes symbolize the supernatural. Alice's dark hair and facial expression connotes anger or revenge. The pink, darkened sky connotes danger or an evil uprising. The blood-stained dress and blood-soaked knife symbolizes death or murder. There is even a symbolic message embedded within a linguistic message. Within the title, there is a blood-stained knife in place of the eye. It literally puts murder at the center of the title and within the core of the title's protagonist. In regards to Injustice Gods Among Us, the maniacal grin displayed by the Joker, juxtaposed around concern-bearing superheroes, connotes upheaval. The scene between the two battling heroes also connotes upheaval. Even the font symbolizes erosion of justice by displaying the bursting cracks. These images all live separately, but together they symbolize mayhem. Visual rhetoric runs rampant through video game cover art, as well as nearly all aspects of our daily lives. With all that being said, there's only one thing left to do.